Hi everyone, it's Miss Craig again. I hope you are all well. This is our try it video on the volume of prisms and cylinders for the week 8, May 25th through the 29th. So like the other try it videos, I'm not going to go over every problem on the try it page. I'll just do a few select ones. The rest you should do on your own and check the answer key at the bottom of the page. The first one we are going to go over is problem number 1. If you haven't done it yet, pause the video, try it, and then come back. So in this one, we have a prism. Remember, a prism is where we have parallel faces that are then connected. So in this case, it's a triangular prism. So we know formula for volume is area of the base times the height. So if we're doing the area of the base, our base is a triangle, so it's going to be 1/2 base of the triangle times height times the height of the prism. So we're going to have 1/2 times 3 of the base of the triangle times 3, the height of the triangle, times 3, which is the height of our prism. So if we take 1/2 times 3 times 3 times 3, we end up with 13.5. And we're measuring in yards, and since it's volume, it would be yards cubed. Now we're going to do problem number 2, finding the volume of the cylinder. So again, if you need to, pause the video, try the problem, and then come back when you're ready. So remember, volume of the cylinder is pi r squared, which is what the area of a circular base is, times the height. So in this case, our diameter is 3 kilometers. So our radius would be half of that. If we take 3 divided by 2, we get 1 5/10. So we're going to substitute in the values. We have pi times 1 5/10 squared times 6. And then we can go ahead and work it out. It does say to give our answer rounded to the nearest tenth. So we're going to substitute in 3 14/100 for pi. So then we're going to go ahead and do the multiplying. And we end up with 42 4/10. In this case, we are measuring in kilometers, and again, it's going to be cubed since we are volume. Now we're going to try problem number 6. Again, pause the video if you need to. Pause when you're ready to go over it. Right, so again, since it is a can of soup, where a soup can is our cylinder, so our volume is going to be equal to pi r squared, which is the area of a circular base times height. And then we're going to fill in our values. So they tell me 16 pi is the volume. 16 pi is equal to pi r squared, and then the height is 4 inches times 4. And we're solving for diameter, but before we can find diameter, we have to find the radius. So to get the radius by ourselves, we're going to divide both sides by 4 pi. So our pi's will divide out to 1, our 4's will divide out to 1, so we're left with r squared. On the other side, our pi's divide out to 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So to figure out our radius, we're going to take the square root of both sides. So 2 is equal to my radius. The question is asking for the diameter. So we know diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. So we're going to take 2 times the radius of r, which is 2, and that would give us 4 inches for a diameter. Now we're going to go ahead to try problem number 10. Again, if you haven't done it, pause the video, come back when you are ready. So it's telling us that we have 2 cylinders. The height of cylinder 1 is twice the height of cylinder 2. So we could see cylinder 2, it's h, so in cylinder 1, it's 2h. And then it's telling me that the radius of cylinder 2 is twice the radius of cylinder 1. So radius in 1 is r, in cylinder 2, it's 2r. And they tell us that what the volume of cylinder 1 is. So we need to figure out what the volume of cylinder 2 is. We could start by taking cylinder 1. If we do the volume, it is equal to pi r squared h. So in this case, it would be pi r squared times 2h, or 2 pi r squared h. If we talk about cylinder 2, again, volume is equal to pi r squared h. So in this case, that would be pi. Instead of r, it's 2r, would all be squared h. So that would give us pi. 2 squared is 4, r squared h. If we want to clean it up, that'd be 4 pi r squared h. So when we go to compare volume of cylinder 1 and volume of cylinder 2, we see the h's end up being the same, the r squareds are the same, the pi's are the same. The difference we notice is that the coefficient in cylinder 1 is 2, but in cylinder 2 it's 4, which lets us know that cylinder 2 is twice cylinder 1. So if we use our information that's given, if cylinder 1 is 45 pi, then I know I have to take 45 pi inches cubed and multiply it by 2 to find cylinder 2. So that would give us 90 pi inches cubed for cylinder 2. So next steps, go ahead, finish the practice, check all your answers in the try it page. You're in My Name is Thomas's class, you'll complete activity 2. When you're ready, you'll go on to the show what you know. I know you will all do great. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk soon. Bye.